Hello entrepreneurs, welcome back to the Entrepreneurs channel, the channel where future business leaders come to get inspired. Today we're going to be talking about Daymond John. Daymond John is an American investor, author and businessman. Daymond John is famously known for founding FUBU, which is a $1 billion plus fashion company. Without wasting another second, let's look at Daymond John's 6 rules for success. Rule number 1, value time.
Grant, you know what I love about him in this book? He says time is so valuable that he'll set a meeting at 9:06 and be there at 9:06 and be over at 9:15. And so what does that do? That puts everybody else on their best behavior in regards to time. They'll know I ain't going to come in at 9 and float around. 9:06, we're on.
Yeah.
And when you start valuing those, 1,440 minutes you have of the day or 86,660 seconds you have of the day, when you start scheduling and understanding the value of that, you get the most out of your day.
Rule number 2, constantly improve yourself.
What are some of the common attributes that you see that successful people, billionaires or people worth hundreds of millions, what is it that they have?
They're always trying to educate themselves, constantly trying to educate themselves. They're trying to find out how could they be better or stronger at what they do. When I look at the billionaires, the funny thing about the billionaires is a lot of times they go around and they write down new ways of saving money on taxes. Because if you really think about this, if you're a billionaire and you have a company that's bringing in another $400 million, right? Mm-hmm. Instead of them thinking about how to do a new company, they think, well, why am I going to pay $200 million in taxes? How can I work harder to keep that instead of creating something new so they don't spread themselves too thin? Right?
Yeah.
Like, why create something new to make what I can save right now that I already got? All right? So they think that way. When I'm in the room with billionaires, it's funny. I think I posted this the other day. I'm in the room with dudes who have a little bit of money. They talk about how much money they spent on cars or parties. When I'm in the room with billionaires, they talk about how much money they gave away. Right? Because that's going to come back to them in a whole different way. I also find that they make a lot of mistakes. They don't spread themselves too thin, but they keep trying new things because what that does is it forces them to educate themselves on what's going to work.
Rule number 3, schedule yourself first.
I shared in Rise and Grind, they schedule their family first. They, because as we get up, listen, we're always scheduling everything else. With time to be on the train, with time to be at a meeting, with time to be on a conference call, with time to go to that dinner with a bunch of clients that you don't even really like to talk to anyway. They schedule they schedule their health. So they get up in the morning, they schedule their doctors, they schedule their family, and then they go ahead and schedule the other things, other people's priorities, but they schedule themselves first and foremost.
Rule number 4, visualize your goals.
This is another thing I like on the show, if it's possible. People have been willing to go there. I'm not suggesting it's just a little bit of pressure, but not too much. Share one of those 10 goals. I know you got some big ones. And no is a financer. But no is a financer.
No. So
one of those 10 goals that you read every day.
It's easy. One of the 10 goals is I will get down to 170. That's my fighting weight. And after, like I said, the medicine and the things I've had to figure things out. But I will get down to 173 pounds by April 15th, and I will do this by drinking 8 glasses of water a day, not eating any fried foods, meats, and not eating after 6 p.m. unless it's after a workout. I will also put in 10,000 steps a day, and in return for this health, I'll be able to stay around in my daughter's lives and walk them down the aisle.
Incredible.
So what happens is when I get to April 15th, I can be 180. Doesn't matter. I reset the goal for another 6 months. But you have to visualize yourself after when you do, because then I say meditate, and what you have to visually look at is me walking my daughters down the aisle.
So powerful.
Yeah, you have to visualize it.
Because something like losing weight for the sake of losing weight is hard motivation. I think Tony does a great job with this. Tony Robbins, like, how can you associate something insanely positive with the results of that goal and see yourself in that moment?
Yeah,
I think that's powerful.
Rule number 5, have a good morning routine.
My morning routine 5 years ago was I would get up and I would look at my emails, a couple of them. I wouldn't let them consume me because I'm dyslexic, and I know that when you read, it takes more of the brain to utilize to read it. So I would use it to stimulate my brain, right? I'd get up, I'd read my goals like I've always done, and I would try to eat something healthy, and then I would get to the office because I was like, I can't work out too early because, number one, there's a lot of fires that I need to put out, and I can't do that. As I started to realize what was going on, I started to do these interviews with people. I started saying, all right, maybe I need to change this around. So now it's totally different. So I'll get up, I'll do my goals, I'll still do that small part of reading the email, but I will not look at social media, which I used to. And now I'll go work out, because I used to work out at night when I felt that my emails weren't coming in that much and I wanted to kind of get tired, so I'll rest it. But I start working out now earlier in the day, and I start also scheduling time with my daughter and with my family to make sure that that is priority over anything else. And I also schedule any kind of health things I need to do, doctors, checkups, physicals, whatever the case is. What that did was I'm more productive because the adrenaline running, and I got to work, and I'm more active. I didn't eat the egg and cheese sandwich, which slowed me down, right?
Rule number 6. Reprogram your thinking.
A friend of my mother's is somebody who's in the interior design sector, and she's about 55 years old. She's not doing that well in interior design right now. And unlike, our history of our parents growing up, and they really didn't have to re-educate themselves in their current business. Yeah. Today, you have to re-educate yourself. And I said to her, well, why aren't you understanding about technology and Instagram? And she said, well, all my friends who were doing bad, we can't believe that anybody will ever hire an interior decorator off of Instagram. And I said, that's why you have the problem you have right now. You're doing exactly the same thing you've been doing since '08. You think somebody in the world, a government, something of that's going to save you, and you're not changing at all. And you're not finding new friends that are doing things a different way. So it's not about no longer when we were kids, when we were 18 years old. It's about everybody in the world has to reprogram the way they think.
Thank you for watching the video, guys. If you learned something new from the video, then please smash the like button down below, because it really helps the YouTube algorithm. If you want to join our learning community, then please hit the subscribe button down below. And as always, comment your favorite quote by Daymond John.